कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिधराधारी यशोदनन्दना व्रजनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दना व्रजनरञ्जना यमुनतीरा वनचारि यमुनतीरा वनचारि जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा गिरिधारी राधा गिरिधारी श्री राधे जय राधा गिरिधारी राधा गिरिधारी श्री राधे जय गौरनिताय श्री गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय हरे गौरनिताय श्री गौरनिताय जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रमणि जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रमणि जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरुदेव की जय श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय कल्पतरुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय Hare Krishna everyone, please welcome to Bhagavatam session in the morning. So please bless me so that I can deliver the correct message of Sarila Prabhupada to all. Hare Krishna. And also please correct me if I do any mistakes. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So I'm going to share the Leela Amrit. So So everybody can say the.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. And we are reading from the chapter 7, Jansi, the League of Devotees. When he told them he was leaving, they did not understand what he meant. He had been leaving for 30 years. He was always coming and going. When he walked out the door, they thought, there he goes again. He is leaving. It was the usual routine. Everyone could see, even the neighbors. Mr. Day was going again. He had been at home. Now he was going. He would be back again. But Abhay knew he would never come back. Srila Prabhupada. Before leaving my family, I wanted to get all my sons and daughters married, but some of them disagreed. But then the time is up. Never mind whether they are married or not. Let them see to their own business. Suppose I die immediately, who will take care of my daughter? At that time, we say, God will take care. Then why not now? God will take care. My Guru Maharaja used to say that renunciation of family life was civil suicide. If you commit suicide, that is criminal. But the renunciation of family is voluntarily committing suicide. Now I am dead. Whatever you like, you do. Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Give up all religion. So family is Graha Dharma, the religion of the family. But Krishna says, give that up. But that attachment is there. And if we say that feeling of attachment has to be given up gradually, then that we cannot do because the attachment is there. But if God will take care of them, if I die immediately, then why not now? His spiritual emotions were so turbulent that he wasn't thinking of going to Jhansi. He wanted to take a train to anywhere. Then he remembered some old God-bethered friends who were living in an ashrama Jargram. Only a short train ride south of Calcutta. So he borrowed 10 rupees from friend and bought a ticket to Jargram. It was a small matha. When Abhay arrived, he was welcomed by Paramahamsa Maharaja, Damodar Maharaja, and others. Paramahamsa Maharaja had been present when Abhay had first met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and he remembered Abhay as he had looked then, dressed in white khadi, looking like a Gandhian, anarchist. Abhay explained to them, I couldn't fulfill my family's needs. So now let me preach the message of Lord Chaitanya. Abhay told him how his business had failed and how he had willingly left his family and was now destitute. Mataji, can I stop it here or you want me to?
Yeah, we can stop here, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudev ki jai. So now I'm going to share the verse. Today we are going to decide. Hare Krishna. Today we are going to read the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 21, instructions by Maharaja Prabhu. And we are reading the verse 37 today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ma jatu tejah prabhave mahadivis titiksaya tapasa vijjaya cha dedipyamane ajita devatanam kule swayam raja kuladvijanam. Ma jatu tejah prabhave mahadivis titiksaya tapasa vijjaya cha दीप्यमाने अजितदेवतानां कुले स्वयं राजकुलाद्विजानाम्. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to recite?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, please.
Majatu teja prabhavin mahartivi titikshaya tapasha vidyaya cha didipayamane jita devatanam kule shayam raja kuladijanam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I'm also trying.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Majatu teja prabhavet mahariddhivis titikshaya tapasha vidyaya cha dedipyamane ajita devatanam kule shayam raja kuladijanam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Mataji, I'm also trying.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Majatu teja prabhavin mahardivish titikshaya tapasha vidyaya cha dedipyamane ajita devatanam kule swayam rajakula dvijanam.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I am also trying.
Please, Mataji.
Majatu teja prabhaven mahardhibhihi stitiksaya taposha vidyaya cha dedipamane ajita devatanam kule shayam raja kulad dijanam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody wants to recite?
Should read the word to word, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Ma, never do it. Jatu, at any time. Teja, supreme power. Prabhavet, exhibit. Maha, great. Ritibi, by opulence. Titikshaya, by tolerance. Tapasa, penance. Vidyaya, by education. Cha, also. Dedipyamane, upon those who are already glorified. Ajita Devatana, Vaishnavas, or the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kule, in the society. Swayam, personally. Raja Kulat, greater than royal family. Vijana, of the Brahmanas. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to read the translation and purport?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are personally glorified by their characteristic powers of tolerance, penance, knowledge, and education. By dint of all these spiritual assets, Vaishnavas are more powerful than royalty. It is therefore advised that the princely order not exhibit its material powers before these two communities and should avoid offending them. Purport. Prithu Maharaj has explained in the previous verse the importance of devotional service for both the rulers and the citizens of the state. Now, he explains how one can be steadily fixed in devotional service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while instructing Srila Rupa Goswami, has compared the devotional service of the Lord with a creeper. A creeper has a feeble stem and requires the support of a tree to grow. And while growing, it requires sufficient protection so that it may not be lost. While describing the system of protection for the creeper of devotional service, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has especially stressed protection from offenses onto the lotus feet of Vaishnavas. Such offenses are called Vaishnava Aparadh. Aparadh means offense. If one commits Vaishnava Aparadhs, all of his progress in devotional service will be checked. Even though one is very much advanced in devotional service, if he commits offenses at the feet of a Vaishnava, his advancement is all spoiled. In the Shastras, it is found that a very great yogi, Durvasa Muni, committed a Vaishnava Aparadh, and thus for 1 full year had to travel all over the universe, even to Vaikuntha Loka, to defend himself from the offense. At last, even when he approached the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Vaikuntha, he was refused protection. Therefore, one should be very careful about committing offenses at the feet of a Vaishnava. The most grievous type of Vaishnava Aparadh is called Guru Aparadh, which refers to the offenses at the lotus feet of the spiritual master. in the chanting of the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this Guru Aparat is considered the most grievous offense. Guru Apnya Shruti Shastra Nidanam, Padma Purana. Among the 10 offenses committed against the chanting of the holy name, the first offenses are disobedience of the spiritual master and blasphemy of the Vedic literature. The simple definition of Vaishnava is given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. A person who immediately reminds one of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is a Vaishnava. In this verse, both Vaishnavas and Brahmanas are mentioned. A Vaishnava is a learned Brahmana and is therefore designated as Brahmana Vaishnava, Brahmana Pandita, or as a Vaishnava and Brahmana. In other words, a Vaishnava is supposed to be a Brahmana already, but a Brahmana may not be a pure Vaishnava. When a person understands his pure identity, Brahmana Janati, he immediately becomes a Brahmana. In the Brahmana stage, one's understanding of the absolute truth is mainly based on the impersonal view. When a Brahmana, however, rises to the platform of personal understanding of the Supreme Godhead, he becomes a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is transcendental even to a Brahmana. In the material conception, the position of a Brahmana is the highest in human society, but a Vaishnava is transcendental even to a Brahmana. Both the Brahmana and Vaishnava are spiritually advanced. A Brahmana's qualifications are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita as truthfulness, mental equanimity, control of the senses, the power of tolerance, simplicity, knowledge of the absolute truth, firm faith in the scriptures, and practical application of the Brahmanical qualities in life. In addition to all these qualifications, when one fully engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, he becomes a Vaishnava. Prithu Maharaj warns his citizens who are actually engaged in the devotional service of the Lord to take care against offenses to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Offenses at their lotus feet are so destructive that even the descendants of Yadu who were born in the family of Lord Krishna were destroyed due to offenses at their feet. The Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot tolerate any offense at the lotus feet of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Sometimes, due to their powerful positions, princes or government servants neglect the position of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, not knowing that because of their offense, they will be ruined.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurgunnatamenna Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jane Mudirate Ashtapraya Subhadresu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Nambete Girim Vitkrupa Tamaham Vande Sri Gurum Dinatayanam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Chandra Iswaram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mataji. So first of all, I would like to say my heartfelt thanks to Mataji for giving this opportunity. So this is one of the purification factor myself. Thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. This verse, so Prabhupada read a little bit lengthy purport, means it is very, very important. So when I was reading this purport, I saw each and every line is so meaningful, and the senior devotees or Maharajas, they take months to explain this one line. That much of meaning is here. And Prithu Maharaj is warning us, he is guiding us, he is instructing us, and he is saying do's and don'ts in this verse. So as a king, he is establishing the proper etiquette, proper dharma of the kingdom, proper dharma of human beings, and he is educating his citizens how to behave and how to live their lives and how to be in devotional service. And in this context, he is giving the important one. The principle is the devotional service should be followed both by king and citizens. It is not in one way. So only king has to do, only citizens. So no, both should perform. That is the one point we can get it from the previous verse and also from this verse. And he is also establishing, he is also giving the importance of Brahmana and Vaishnava. So in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining who is Brahmana, who is Vaishnava. Why is Vaishnavas are superior than Brahmanas? And Prabhupada Maharaj also, he is suggesting, he is giving the instruction to citizens who have to respect Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. That is the first instruction he is giving. And also, that is do. They must obey the Brahmanas. And the second rule he is giving, the don't. So we should not do any offense towards them. So these two lessons we are learning from this verse. So we have to respect Brahmanas and we should not offend them. That is the do and don'ts. And if you see in this verse, there are mainly 3 topics we can discuss, we can elaborate. The first one is the qualifications of Brahmana, and they are Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are superior. We have to respect them. That is one point. The other point here, here in this verse discussed is the growth of creeper. The analogy as given to the devotion service is growth of creeper. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he met Srila Rupa Goswami in Dasasvamedha Ghat. So he instructed the process of devotional service for 10 days to him. So in these instructions, he mentioned that the devotional service is compared with the creeper. So this is very, very, very nice example. If you meditate on this, actually it is applicable for all of us. So how it practically works, it is explained. Prabhupada explained how that growth of creeper and devotional service are, they grow, how it comes. So first of all, I would like to ask one question to everyone. So if they want to, the farmer, if you take farmer, he wants to grow a plant. So what he takes some good seeds. What is the first requirement for the seedling to put the seed on the ground? Anybody wants to share? What is the first requirement? What farmers see to put the seed?
The soil.
Soil is, that means land. They go for good land where I can put the seed. So where is the good soil where I can put? The same way, if compared to Jiva Bhakti Lata Bija should have arose. So where it has to start, where that Bija comes. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, 19th chapter, Madhya-lila, 151 verse says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kone Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasad Paye Bhakti Lata Bija. So that Bija comes. Where is the platform to get that Bija? Anybody wants to share? Just like a farmer, he needs proper land to put the seed. Jiva also needs proper platform to get that bija. What is that platform?
You have already pointed out, it's a Guru Krishna Prasade. That means with the mercy of the Guru and the Krishna. And Krishna in the material world, I mean, for us, is the other devotees. So in the heart of the devotees, Krishna is there. So they are helping us to.
Yes. So where is that platform, Prabhuji? So for jivas, for living entities, where that bija comes?
The heart.
In the heart. Yes. So just like a farmer needs land, Jiva needs heart to grow that to put that bija, Bhakti Lata bija. And just like a land, so if it is fertile, that seed will grow. So farmer look for fertile land. The requisite, that means the eligibility for that land should be the fact that property of that land should be essence, fertile. In the same way, for the jivas, the heart, the primary requirement for that heart should be, what is that factor? What bhakti starts from where? That is the starting stage of bhakti.
Yes.
What is that?
Those Shraddha, it starts from the
Shraddha, yes.
faith.
Yeah, faith. Thank you so much. So the fertility, that fertilizer is faith for the jiva. If there is a faith, the seed comes inside the heart to grow. So farmer, he takes land and he sees whether it is fertile or not, whether it is essence, there is a essence or not. If not, he doesn't put the seed. If there is no faith, that bija will not appear in our heart. And if you see faith, there are two faiths, pure faith and mixed faith. If the farmer put the seed in the soil, what happens? Sometimes some disturbance is also there. What are the disturbances? Some rocks may be there, some bark may be there, some unnecessary things also there in the soil. So it will not grow. In the same way, our faith, if the faith is pure, so it will grow very quickly. If the faith is mixed, it will not grow. So what is that mixed? What is that impurity comes from? The impurities comes from three ways. Maybe from because of our desires, maybe from impersonal worship of the God, that the impersonal features. That means we worship till the incomplete faith. So we go till the Brahma Jyoti. That is also incomplete faith. So because of that, and also the third one, demigod worship. So our faith will shake. So it will not pure. Here, Srila Prabhupada says, the mixed faith will become pure faith by knowing our real identity. That is called Sambandha Jnana. So, when the farmer knows that this soil is not fertile, so he thinks what to make that soil so fertile. He takes some actions to make that soil so fertile. In the same way, that process from the mixed faith to pure faith, the Sambandha Jnana, we should aware of that Jnana. We are not body, we are servants of Lord, we are a soul. Our duty is to serve. We have to identify our real constitutional position. That is Sambandha Jnana. So that faith starts. When the faith is there, so you got from the mixed faith to pure faith, when the seed starts growing. And where that faith comes, actually that is very important. How that gate, how you get that faith. So by knowing Sambandha Jnana, so we have to do some actions. What are those actions? How you get it? So occasionally, the first one is Ajnata Sukriti, by previous Sukriti, by doing some devotional activities in previous life and previously. So you get that Sukriti, so that faith arises. In the same way, by reading scriptures. So by just like automatically, so sometimes by accidentally we read something, we get knowledge. By accidentally we go to certain places, we get knowledge. So our faith will become more stronger. And go to the temple, we see kirtan, so our faith will get more stronger. We eat prasadam. And among all these, the very important thing is when they associate with the pure devotees, the sprout will start very quickly. The seedling, that the plant starts germination, it germinates, sprouts very quickly. That is the quickest process, the association of pure devotee. The Chaitanya Charitamrita in 22nd chapter, 54th verse says, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Sastra hoy. Lava Matru Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi hoy. So with the association we can do miracles. So the seed will grow very, very fast, the starts. So in the same time, the farmer, he gives some fertilizers, the important fertilizers to that seed. So those are maybe water, maybe sunlight, maybe some other nutrients. So when they supply, the seed starts growing, germination. In the same way, by Ajnana Sukriti or maybe association, by reading scriptures, by visiting temples, by hearing about the glories of Lord, the faith will start and it will become strong when the association is strong. So it may be because of your endeavors, maybe because of pure devotee. It acts both. Your endeavors, that is bhajana kriya. The sadhu sangha and bhajana kriya, will the devotional service, ever devotional service will start stronger. That means both are very important. Your own sadhana and the association of pure devotees. So faith is growing. The stage started growing. The Bhakti Lata Bija started growing. Then the farmer gives more fertilizers to give good crop. He gives fertilizers. In the same way, Jiva has to give some nourishment for that growth. What is that nourishment? Anybody wants to share?
Hearing and chanting, Mataji.
Yes. So devotional prayers. Navavida Bhakti. The nourishment for the soul. The Bhakti Lata Bija is Navavida Bhakti. Chanting, hearing, remembering. So these are the most important for the nourishment of the soul. That Bhakti Lata Bija grows very fast. So association is very important. Your own endeavors are important. Along with this Bhajana Kriya and Sadhu Sangha, during the Bhajana Kriya, if you add some more efforts with the Navavida Bhakti, with chanting, hearing, by remembering, so that growth, so it gives inner results. So when the farmer add fertilizer to that plant, that seed, it will grow very quickly. So nourishment is very important by Navavida Bhakti. And the plant is growing, it is already sprout, it started growing, leaves came, stem came, but the stem is very feeble, very weak. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying in this verse that the stem is, at the beginning, the stem is very weak. We have to give support. So we have to give support. Sometimes creeper grows on the ground. The what? The Mali gardener, Mali Cheche, Kirtanadi Jala. That is Navaveda Bhakti, Kirtanadi Jala, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So that is the water for that dude. So what he does, so to make that creeper strong, so he puts one stick. So one stick, and the creeper also sometimes takes support of other plant, other tree, and support of building. So in this way, the creeper gets stronger. So in the same way, the devotional creeper also gets stronger in the presence of other devotees, pure devotees, association. It will get stronger. So this is lifelong cultivation. It is not 1 day or 2 days. So when the farmer put the seed, he works day and night to grow that plant until it gets crop. So until it gets harvest. So day and night he works so hard. In the same way, when by Ajnata Sukriti, by association of devotees, by other means, we got that faith. So we have to maintain it. That is easy. Getting faith is easy. It may be feeble. That means sometimes it may change. But the important thing is we have to maintain that faith throughout our life. So this is lifelong cultivation. The Bhaktilata Bija is, the maintaining of Bhaktilata Bija is lifelong cultivation. So Prabhupada emphasis on that part by proper nourishment. We are not giving that nourishment to body. We are giving that nourishment to soul. So that it will grow, it will grow, it will grow and reach the lotus feet of Lord. And when it is growing nicely, and sometimes farmers see the plant is growing, it's okay, but it is not giving proper crop. Fruits are not there, vegetables are not there. He is looking for the options. Why? What is the reason? Anybody wants to share? So what is that reason? Why that plant is not growing properly? Any
Weeds,
other?
weeds, Mataji, weeds.
Yeah, other weeds. So the farmer is putting efforts to remove that weed, unnecessarily weed. It is not giving support to plant. It is not giving any extra benefit to that plant. It is not giving nourishment to that plant. So he want to remove that. He understood because of this weed, this plant is not giving proper result. So he wants to remove it. So in the same way, so we think our faith is okay. We are growing, we are chanting, we are hearing but some unnecessarily disturbances will come. That's why our devotion will go up and down, up and down. One day we do nice chanting, other way we will not do nice chanting. One day we go to temple, the other days, okay, it's okay. Sometimes we think it's okay. Dila. So that means we don't take it serious. Why that devotion is coming? That means we are not maintaining. So we have to understand what are the reasons for this fall down, for that flickering devotion. We have to understand. So the point we have to maintain, it is a lifelong cultivation. We have to maintain throughout our life. Until we see what is the disturbances for our devotional service, we cannot progress. So those disturbances explained by Prabhupada, so that is maybe 3 types. The first one is because of our desires, because of our papa, sinful reactions. So we are committing mistakes again and again. So our devotion will not progress. The first one is first anartha. These are called anartha stage. This is anartha stage. So first anartha is our sinful activities. So we do again and again. So somebody may think it's okay eating meat. No problem. 1 day or 2 days we can eat. It will not affect our devotion. So it will become routine. So it's okay. 1 day we go for restaurant. So it will become routine. So that is it is demotivating our devotional service. In the same way, it's okay going to movies for 1 day. It's okay. We can enjoy our senses 1 day. So we think like that. And previous papas already is there. And we are doing again and again. It is adding. All these sins are adding. It is disturbing our devotion. That is one point. Suppose I'm giving small example. When one person is swimming on the surface of the water, so very nicely, he is a very good swimmer. So what happens? He thinks, it's okay, I'm strong, I can swim. What if I go 10 feet below? I can do it. So he went 10 feet below. He was swimming. Okay, nothing is happening. I can cooperate my body. I can breathe so that nothing is happening. So I want to try more. He go again 50 feet below. Everything is okay. I'm swimming here also like a fish. So it is okay. Nothing is happening. So in this way, again, he want to indulge some more. He want to go bottom, rock bottom. What happens? there he gets stuck. Suffocation, that the suffering starts. In the same way, as a human being, we tend to enjoy, we want to enjoy either this way or that way. We try different sources to enjoy and we get stuck. Because of the desires, we will come again and again in the bondage and the cycle of birth and death. We are committing mistakes. We are doing again this. We are thinking it's okay, casual. We are taking it is casual. That's fine. So, but in the devotion, the seriousness should be there. So, if the faith, so Krishna, what Krishna does, so in order to encourage you, he gives whatever you want at the beginning, and you think, okay, so this is fine. I'm asking Krishna all these desires, he's fulfilling. No, at one point you have to understand these desires are because of my bondage. I have to stop it. I have to stop these asking desires for my sense gratification. I have to ask the benedictions for my upliftment of devotion. So one day we have to understand nothing is for my gratification. I have to please Lord. So that is the understanding. Since that point, we do mistakes again and again for our sense enjoyment. The other reason, the first reason is for our desires, sinful actions. The second reason is so incomplete knowledge. So going for the Svargaloka, going for the other planets, demigod worship. So just like a mixed faith. So these are all anarthas. The Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Masteries. These 6 are our enemies, anarthas. So with incomplete knowledge, we cannot overcome this. So in 7th chapter, Krishna says, Devi Sagunamaya, Mama Maya Duratya, Mama Evaye Prapatyante Mayatam Tarata. This is very, very impossible to overcome this Maya illusion unless you surrender unto me. So we have to come to that point of surrenderance into advance in the devotions. So that is where we stuck. This is anartha. And also somebody think the mystic power, they take that means dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga. So these are all disturbances in our devotion. In the dhyana yoga, mystic power, so many, they do yoga, some mystic powers. Even devotee, Prabhupada explained, even in devotees, they think they want that mystic power to read other devotees' mind, so that he can do better. So if they read the other devotee's mind, so he knows, so that he can do better than that. So it's like a competition. It's not a business. They have to understand. No need to read other devotees' mind. Just follow how they are doing. Take a positive. Don't take negative from them. So take positive, how they are serving Lord. You take that essence and follow. So these are all another. So the first one is Papa, the other one is because of incomplete knowledge, because of our endeavorment for the mystic powers. The last one is very, very important one, offending the devotee. The actual point is explained in this verse, that is offending devotees, offenses towards the pure devotees. So Lord says, it's okay doing mistakes, the aparadas to me, I can forgive, but I cannot forgive if you do aparadas for my devotees. Narottam Das Thakur also says that Hari Nama Aparade Tare Harinam. Haristane Aparade Tare Harinam. Tumastane Aparade Nahi Paritran. If you do commit mistakes towards the pure devotee, towards a spiritual master, towards the devotee, so Krishna will not forgive you. So we have to mind that we should not offend any Vaishnavas, any devotees. First of all, Prabhupada says not to other devas, what to speak of the devotees. towards other doing aparadhas towards other jivas also prohibited. So the same in this verse, Prithu Maharaj also warning his citizens, don't commit any offenses towards the greater community like Vaishnavas and Brahmanas. So that is the point we have to remember here. The offenses. So if you are doing offenses, even if you go to Bhava Bhakti, the steps of the progress in the devotional service, Bhava Bhakti, the second last of stages, the before Prema Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti will come. So even if the Bhava Bhakti stage will fall down if you do offenses, that is very, very strong and very powerful and put you down. So we have to be very careful not to offend any Vaishnavas. So that is the biggest anartha of the devotional service, that Bhaktilata Bija will not grow. So these offenses, the offenses, and also in order to offend, in order to avoid these offenses, so we have to be in the service of Lord. We have to be in the process of devotional service regularly. We have to be in the association of devotees. There are so many examples are explained here because see, in this verse also explained Brahmanas are the greater than the other varnas, then the Sudras, Vaisyas, Kshatriyas. So Brahmanas are topmost. So what is the meaning of Brahmana? Brahmana means they realize the Brahman preacher of the Lord. That's why they are Brahmanas. But it is incomplete if they progress to Vaishnava stage when they realize the absolute truth, the Bhagavan feature, complete feature, Satchidananda Vigraha, the three features of Lord. They can reach the stage of Vaishnavas. So even the Brahmanas are superior than the other Varnas, but still Vaishnavas are far superior than Brahmanas. And there are so many examples in our Bhagavatam, in our scriptures. So how they offended and what are the consequences. In this verse only it was explained, Ambarish Maharaj, he was a great devotee. He is an example for Suddha Bhakta. So he is engaging all his senses in the service of Lord. So one day he was observing, he observed Ekadasi fasting, and the next day on Dvadasi they have to break their fast. So there are some gadiyas, some moments, some time period. During that period only they have to break their fast so that they get full results of that Ekadasi Vrata. So he was about to break that fasting. That time Durvasa Muni came. So Durvasa Muni generally is very personification of anger. He's an incarnation of, he's from Amsa of Lord Shiva. So he's in anger mood. So he said, I'll come back. I take my bath and I'll come back. Just wait. He was waiting. So Durvasa Muni, he wants to test. So he came along with 60,000 disciples. They went to bath and they are not coming. They are not coming. So he was waiting. And the other associates, so they said, it's okay taking little water. You can break. Still you are not fast. You are not breaking. So you can break with water. That means, so halfway you are fasting. Still, that means you are still fasting. So they suggested like that. So he had a water. Durvasa Muni came and he had that. So he very angry. So why you did like that? So that means you don't know proper etiquette to receive the guest, how to take care of guest. So he was so angry. Then the Lord Vishnu sent the Sudarshan Chakra and he was running all the universes, all the planets to the Brahmaloka. So he went to Brahmaloka, he went to Shiva. So they said, we can't help it. Even he went to Lord Vishnu. So he said, so I am under the control of devotee. I cannot do anything. Bhakta Paradina. That means Bhakta Vajala. He is a controller of, he is controlled by devotees. The devotion, the bhakti, the loving of devotees. He said, I can't help it. So he went back to Ambarish Mani and he asked for the forgiveness. So then, so generally the Ambarish Maharaj is so, he is so, so humble. He did forgiveness, and after that he had a break. So in this way, so this is very dangerous. Even the Durvasa Muni is a great sage. He couldn't control his anger. He offended the pure devotee and he bear the consequences of that offense. This is not good. We can see that example. And the another example also, Edu dynasty. So you know Edu dynasty, how the Edus are fighting. They fought among themselves and they died because offense made by the young children. So one day the Edu dynasty, the young children of the dynasty, they were playing and they were made Samba, the boy named Samba. So he like a pregnant woman. So they were playing and the one day the rishis, the great rishis, including Narada Muni, they were visited that Pindarika. So it is near to Dwaraka, that village. They came to that village for some meetings. At time, these playful boys, they asked, so this girl is pregnant. What he is going to give birth? Which boy or girl? They asked. So the sages were so they got angry. So they think that they are offending the great sages. It is true. They are offending that. They are asking like they are testing whether they know it or not, because it is not real that Samba is not pregnant, but they want to test. They want to challenge. That's why they asked this question. They got anger and they cursed. So she will give birth to club. That club will cause forever destruction for entire dynasty. So immediately those boys, they took that and give it to Ugrasena. And Ugrasena, so he smashed and he grounded it into powder and he said that he put that powder in the ocean. So ocean, that powder, everything. So it was one lump of that iron piece was eaten by fish. Later on, the other boy of that village, he saw that the fish, there is something in the fish, in the fish stomach. They took it out. It became a big club, and they started they started fighting for that, and they did. So this is a plan of Krishna, of course. So he wants his um, associates, Edu dynasty. So already the burden of the earth was released by Kurukshetra war. The remaining burden also he was removing by safely, because they are devotees. So they are not doing any mistakes. They cannot go just like that. So this is a plan of Krishna also. But the point is, because of that offense, so the consequence is they had to bear. In the same way, we can see other examples of Sobari Muni. Sobari Muni, so he gave the shelter for the fish. This is the food of Garuda. Garuda is Vaishnava. He has given the shelter for that fish. So the Garuda is so disappointed. So because of that, so he fell down from his austerity. He was doing severe austerity, fell down, and he just for material pleasure, he married Manda, the king of Madura, married so many daughters. He had so many daughters. He married for the pleasure, for the senses. So how we fall down because of little offense. In the same way, if you see Parikshit Maharaj, so he did little offense. He put the dead snake around the sage and he got cursed. And also, if you see Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Sachi Mata. So when the Maharaj he was in the Mahaprakasha Leela, he was giving mercy to everyone. But the first one, the mercy got from the Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji's Dukhi, the servant of Srivasa Acharya. So he was giving the mercy to everyone. He was not calling Sachimata. So everybody asked, why can't you give to me Sachimata your mercy? He said he did aparada, Vaishnava aparada. What aparada she did? So he was thinking because of Advaita Acharya, at that time Advaita Acharya was preaching Bhagavad Gita, everything to everyone. By that instructions, by hearing, Visvarupa became a sannyas. He left home, he became a sannyasi. So he was thinking because of Advaita, my Swarupa got the sannyasi. So still it is in his mind. So that time, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's why he didn't give any mercy to her. So after that, what happened? So they were saying, Sachimata is coming, Sachimata is coming. So they called Sachimata. That time, with overwhelming, Advaita Acharya fell down. So when he was unconsciousness, that time she touched Advaita Acharya's feet and she got relieved. So so that is also planned. If he would have awake, he never let Sachimata to touch his feet. One pastime. In the same way, there are so many other. So Pandavas, because the Kauravas, they offended Pandavas in many ways. So because of that, they had to kill. The war happened. The other, so the other examples also here. One day the Prabhupada, so there was one Prabhuji, he was serving Prabhupada, translating many books, Sanskrit. He is a Sanskrit scholar. Prabhupada was so happy by his services. He said, Prabhupada, so Prabhupada asked, so what you want? So you are doing so much of service in translating and compiling everything for my translations, my writing books. So what do you want? He said, I want great guru in my life. So Prabhupada was so shocked. So he appended actually Prabhupada. Prabhupada is a pure devotee. So then Prabhupada said, you will get, but not now, after million births. So that is also very offend. In the same way, there are so many other examples in Purana. You can see, if they offend any Vaishnava, they have to bear the consequence. That means they cannot advance in devotion. That is the main consequence. They fall down from the devotion. So any other comment, Prabhuji? So I want to conclude it here. So in the here also Prit Maharaj is just like a Yadyad Acharate Sreshta. So he is practicing and he is asking his citizens also practice the devotion process and he is warning not to offend Vaishnavas. It is a biggest anartha in his process of devotion service. We cannot advance in the devotion service. So that's why what we do when we enter into the temple, we first do before we enter into temple, we take obeisances and saying Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. We are taking blessings to enter into the temple, and before leaving the temple also we are praying. So the same devotees, please forgive any offenses I committed towards you. So before entering and while leaving temple, it is must to say this verse. So these are the some be in the consciousness and do your chadana, be in association. In this way we can avoid this committing mistakes, committing offenses towards other Vaishnavas. So I want to conclude it here. Anybody wants to share anything, or anyone wants to add
Hare
anything?
Krishna Mataji,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
what a beautiful class. The whole Bhagavatam is studied today. Beautiful. The most important thing is how to maintain the creeper. Yeah, the example you have given so many examples to make it clear understanding about the Vaishnavapara. So it is in the beginning of the seedling. So if the seed is proper, it gets a good soil, then everything starts growing. So similarly, our bhakti is also the same way. It needs to be grown in very steady way with proper circumstances around. That is our Sadhu Sangha. And studying regularly Bhagavatam or literatures so that it remains in one path. Give the proper food to the creeper and it slowly and slowly grows bigger and bigger. Not taking any offenses towards any Vaishnava. That's the real focal point of today's discussion. And how we've given so many examples to identify which are the Vaishnavaparas. So many examples of them. Ambarish Maharaj, Jadu dynasty, Samba, Savari Muni, Parikshit Maharaj, Sachi Mata, and then Kaurav and Pandav, even in the recently Prabhupada's example. So it's a very simple thing, looks like, but it has huge amount of impact.
Yes.
So this is very, very important to understand Vaishnavapara, and we don't know in what time we are doing this and may not be noticed, but it happens. So we need to be very, very careful in the progress of our devotional activities daily. So the best way is to chant the holy name so purely and nicely that can help us to come out of these offenses slowly. And if we understand that we make mistakes towards any Vaishnava, knowingly or unknowingly, just pray to them and then things will be sorted out. That's the understanding I could get it from today's discussion. Thank you so much.
Yes,
for
Prabhuji.
the
Thank you.
explanation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So that's what Prabhupada said. Even our mind, we should not think about them, not to speak of actions. Before actions, before speaking, so not to think also. So about other Vaishnavas. So we can think positively, but not negatively. So, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Dandot
Krishna.
Pranam. Dandot Pranam. Thank you so much. As always, you shared your wonderful experiences and realizations. So it's so valuable, and especially all the examples which you shared. Mataji, just just wanted your advice or guidance in this aspect. So, like the Lord says in Shikshashtakam that Amanina Manadena. So he says, don't expect any honor and respect. On the other hand, we have that, like we have to respect the Vaishnavas, respect the Brahmanas, and we should not offend them. So how to basically balance these two things? Like one hand, it says we should not take offense. No, we should not take offense at. We should not expect honor, and so I just wanted your advice on that, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. So actually, all of us actually, we are in the same platform. So we are facing this problem actually. So this is very important to understand. So yesterday, Anadi Mohan Prabhuji also explained very nicely how to offer everything. So even our actions. So we have to think we are not doing. That is where yesterday from Prabhuji's class I understood. So we have to think we are not doers. We are not, even if you are mixing. So there are some demigods in our hand also. They are situated. So for making halwa also, so we are thinking, so collecting the ingredients, they are from the earth. We are not taking anything. We are not preparing anything. So already there. And we are mixing even hearts, the demigods also there. So the actions, each and everything we are not doing. We are not a doer. So no need to get credit. We have to think in that way. So if you think we are not doers, so it will help Prabhuji actually. So in that means, so one of the Prabhujis in Vrindavan also said, whatever actions you do at the end of the day, so you give it to your Guru Maharaj. Submit those actions to Guru Maharaj. So in this way, so you can understand I am not doing anything. So if you understand that, if you realize that I am not doing anything, you don't feel any great. So you don't get any proud. So you start with yourself. If you start from your side, so I am not doing. So I am not a doer. So it's everything Krishna only. The energy is given by Krishna only. I am using this body. It is given by Krishna. The thought given by Krishna. Whatever you want to cook for Krishna, that thought also given by Krishna. Each and everything, the intelligence, how to do that, ideas, everything given by Krishna only. So if you meditate on this point, I am not a doer. So Krishna is the doer. So it is worth going back to him only. So if you think in this way, so it will help you, Prabhuji. And also the one of the lecture from Vrindavan I had it. So when you submit all your actions to your Guru, in that way you will be relieved. You don't get any hankara, any proud. The same way, so the others, everybody is having Paramatma, everybody is not inside. If you see others also, they are Paramatma. If you perspect that view in the others also, you don't commit any mistakes, Prabhuji. So that starts from our point of understanding. So the point of taking that point into our minds. So hope
Thank you. Thank you, Mother. Yeah, no, thank you very much.
Actually, it starts from us only, Prabhuji. You have to understand we are not doers. So I hope it will make sense, Prabhuji. So,
No, thank you, Mataji. No, thanks for clarifying that.
Very nice. Yeah, that's where we make the mistake. We try to become a doer and then we end up with all the difficulties.
All the mistakes. So first of all, we have to think we are not doer. So everything Krishna only doing. He is only giving intelligence. He is giving ideas. So we are just instruments.
Yeah, that's the point.
That's the point.
Because the whole body is offered by Krishna, so we have nothing to do with this.
Yes, yeah.
That's the very good point. Not offering everything towards the lotus feet or towards the lotus feet of the Guru and everything.
Everything, yes.
It's very easy to say or something. It's very, very difficult to understand.
Understand, yes, Prabhuji, yeah. So when I had this point, so I started implementing. So after that, I realized really, so I can feel better than before if I started after doing this, everything giving to Guru, whatever it is. Yeah.
Very nice point.
Thank you so much.
Very nice guidance.
Hare Krishna. So if anyone is not there, we will conclude the class.
Panchakalpatarubhyascha कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। सावित्री माता जी की जय।
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
So